The old Harper House sat at the end of Lockridge Street, empty for nearly a decade. No one went near it anymore. Not since Eleanor Harper, the widow who once lived there, had died in a supposed electrical accident. When the new tenants, a young couple, Mark and Tessa Nolan, moved in, everyone warned them about the lights. "They flicker when she's near," an elderly neighbor said. They laughed it off until the third night. At exactly 2:14 a.m., the hallway light began to blink rapidly. Once, twice, then steady. Tessa, half asleep, thought she saw a shape in the reflection of the mirror at the end of the hall. A woman in a long, gray nightgown, her hand pressed against the glass like she was trying to reach through. By the time Mark woke up, the light was out again. Strange things started happening after that night. The kitchen lights turned on by themselves. The radio played songs from the 1950s, and every time the bulbs flickered, the same faint smell filled the air, lavender and cigarette smoke. Mark, an electrician, tried to fix the faulty wiring. When he opened the junction box in the basement, he found something unusual, a rusted gold locket wedged inside, covered in dust and webs. Inside the locket was a black and white photo of a young girl and a woman, the same woman Tessa had seen in the mirror. The initials EH were engraved on the back. Tessa became obsessed. She dug into old records and found that Eleanor Harper had been accused of killing her teenage daughter, June, before taking her own life. The case was closed quickly, open and shut, the papers said, but the town still whispered. Some claimed Eleanor had been innocent. One night, the flickering came again, violently this time. Every bulb in the house pulsed like a heartbeat. Then came the voice, faint, strained, but unmistakable. "She killed me," Tessa screamed. Mark ran into the hall, but the lights exploded overhead, showering them with sparks. For a moment, they both saw her, Eleanor Harper, face pale and eyes hollow, pointing toward the basement. When the police came the next morning, the Nolans were gone. The door to the basement was open. 2 weeks later, Detective Lara Quinn took over the case. The Nolans were missing, but no signs of forced entry or struggle were found. The only clue, a series of scorch marks along the basement wall, forming the faint outline of a handprint. Lara began researching Eleanor Harper's death. The autopsy files were strange, inconsistencies, missing pages, and one odd note in the margins. Electrical burns don't match accident pattern. She visited Eleanor's sister, now in a nursing home. The old woman whispered, "Eleanor didn't kill June. She found out who did, and someone made sure she stayed quiet." The name she gave made Lara's blood run cold. Deputy Arthur Kane, the lead investigator on the case, and Lara's late father. That night, Lara went back to the Harper House alone. The power was out, but her flashlight beam danced across the walls. Every step deeper into the basement made the air heavier. Then, a flicker. The lights hummed, faint and golden. And there she was again, Eleanor. But this time, the ghost didn't look vengeful. Her lips trembled as she pointed to a loose panel on the wall. Inside was a folded confession, dated the week before her death, written by her daughter June. June confessed to an affair with Deputy Kane, who'd been married and much older. When Eleanor discovered it and threatened to report him, Kane panicked, staging Eleanor's accident and covering it up. As Lara read the confession, the bulbs flickered wildly, then steadied. The smell of lavender filled the room again. The ghost smiled faintly, her form dissolving like smoke in the light. The next morning, the Harper case was reopened. The Nolans were found alive, disoriented, claiming they'd woken up miles away, with no memory of how they got there. When Lara left the house for the last time, she looked back at the porch light. It flickered once, soft, almost like a goodbye.